It's not only for the people that can live in the house, it's also for the painters.
For the painters, because a lot of paints will have that ammonia smell, where the zero VOCs aren't as strong, because they don't have all the glycol and all the extra stuff added in. That helps.
But I guess
slow down.
the benefit is most for the person who uses the paint and for the environment. It's once it's dry, the VOCs doesn't really stay in the building,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the person who's working with it and also for the environment.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So, do you guys have a line of paint that looks after removing some of the benzene and formaldehyde and other toxic chemicals in paint? Or does your product just address the VOCs?
Like, does our product contain?
Well, some
that's
other
correct.
paint companies have started developing lines that contain a lot fewer other chemicals. Like you said that you'll still get a smell even though you've removed the VOC, and that's from some of the other chemicals in the paint. This
Right.
pair of paints, have they reduced some of those other chemicals used in any of their lines?
In majority of all their lines, they've reduced it. That's why they were all under all the standards. But I think over time, they're going to be.
So they were under other standards rather than VOC, like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Does it cover as much per gallon and is it otherwise
Yeah, you'll get your
Exactly.
400 square feet out of a gallon.
just like normal?
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking, they charged me $200 extra to do the whole house for the extra cost of the paint. Does that sound about right?
They charged you $200 more.
Than it would have been for regular paint, so it's $200 more. We should be off camera.
So they,
Yeah, I think so.
so they make $200 more.
Is it on here, Mister?
Save it for later.
Okay.
We can just
But you still have formaldehyde in the paint, or is it all out?
Not in the zero VOC.
There's no formaldehyde?
No, remember Andrew
Yeah.
saying that there's
none in the
in the
zero
essence.
VOC, in
Zero
the essence
VOC.
product. But in the other products, there still is.
But they're all low enough that they meet the government regulations.
Of course.
Like the only thing that Para lost from our line was our oil-based products. Like
That's
we
it.
can still sell it till 2012, but and then they're coming out with those hybrid products for stains and stuff for us.
Their paints are then only for the inside.
Nope,
So-
we're exterior and we
You have exterior as well,
Yes,
as in latex product.
yeah,
Just not zero VOC.
just not the zero VOC. Then we came out with that yet. In time, I'm sure it will be.
Probably have to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, pretty
I
soon it will
think
have to
once
be.
you start this step,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm pretty sure all the companies will start coming out with it. Once one does it, they all will.
Exactly.
So what's the response in the community? Are you starting to get more interest or?
We've been asked a lot, even before we had the
Yeah.
essence, we've been asked.
Mhm.
We're always asked by the retail customer.
A lot of
like,
times-
Is it zero VOC? How
Yeah.
many is it?
But a
low
lot of
VOC?
times I
Does it
think
smell?
retail is, they're not fully understanding the VOCs, where you gotta explain that to them. Because
Yeah.
they think it's just a smell,
Mhm.
right? They don't understand what it's doing and so, but no, we've gotten quite a bit of retail wanting that.
Is it more retail, is it the end user buying it, or are you getting like,
We have a few contractors that are using it.
Yeah, we're what, about 60-40 retail?
Probably.
60 retail?
Yeah. So it's getting more and more out there, conscious to people.
So what's the price of a gallon of essence versus a gallon of below, like
Well,
other
Essence-
paint at your within your store?
Within our store,
Yeah.
just regular latex 100% acrylic is 50.
50-49, I think.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's
something
not
like that. It's not that much more,
Mm-hmm.
really, for it. So, Where a lot of people think, oh, you know, it's gonna be a lot more, but it's not.
No. We got a lot of contractors using it too now, so it's good. And they like it. It is a lot thinner and dries quickly, so it is harder to work with, but they like it.
The guys that are really good probably like it though.
Yeah. Like first time painter, I don't know if I would recommend the product to them because you gotta move a little bit quicker with it, but people who paint often can use it.
I used it, and what I found out is often you can't go from top to bottom in one roll.
Okay.
You know, so if you are like on a ladder or whatever, have a high wall and you can paint only half, and have to go down, you know, and make the other half. So usually with regular latex or oil, you go, you overcover it, right? So, and I had to paint that room 3 times to get the shade out, you know, you still could
So
see,
you could see
where
that line
it was overlapping.
Okay.
So that was a little bit,
Of your
and that's probably has something to do with the fast dry time.
Yeah.
So
And
what
if
you can do too is thin it with a little bit of water.
Yeah. Just no
And
more
that
than
slows it down
10%.
a little bit.
And if you use a thicker pile on a roller, you can put more paint on your roller, so then you can go a little bit further with it.
What amount of pile do you guys recommend using?
Sorry?
What thickness of pile do you recommend for residential interior?
10 to
usually use
13. 10 to 13, I would say.
Okay.
Some of the guys are now using those microfiber rollers too. I personally haven't
I don't
used
like
one. I stick to what I like, and it's a little hard to try something new.
But we did try the essence at the store and I liked it.
We did our whole booth that we did at Women's World with it all.
Yeah.
It was durable, we didn't ding any of our walls up and moving, and so.
So that test that they were talking
The
about.
scrub test.
Yeah.
It's just done with dish soap and just a scrub brush, and it's in a machine, so it goes over 100 times and it drops a little drop of dish soap, and it just keeps going back and forth. And that's the same test that they do on regular latex
So how would
paints.
regular latex do compared to this one?
It was comparable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just as durable.
Excellent.
So that product you used, it was the essence you said?
I believe it was, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because,
But you got it from us?
yeah,
Okay, so it must have been the essence.
from,
I thought you
Yeah.
looked familiar to me.
yeah. for Michel, the paint from Michel, Chernobyl,
Okay, yes, yeah.
that was this, dark
It was a darker color.
red.
Yeah,
It's not red, it's,
a brownie. Yeah.
brownish red, yeah.
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 So yeah, with the darker colors too, it's, you gotta try to go as far as you can,
But,
top to
you
bottom.
know, they have a big attic, high rooms, and you can't do that in
Yeah.
one time, you know. So, but the finish was good,
Yeah,
you know, but it's
just, yeah,
3 times is, 3 layers is minimum, especially with the dark,
yeah.
I think. So,
See, and we had the one painter, he did, that new little coffee shop that opened on 20th Street.
220?
Yes. And he painted in there with black, and he said it covered like nothing. Like it was so good to cover for him. And that was in a neutral base, so that would have had a lot of VOCs in it, because we had to put so much color into it to make it black. But each color, like certain colors are tougher to cover, so
Yeah, the dark.
that could have been a possibility.
yeah, I thought maybe I could get some information about you know, using it technical wise,
Yeah.
you know, so because that product was new for me.
Yeah. No, really the only thing we can recommend is you can thin it out a little bit with water and a thicker pile roller. You just gotta move with it
I've heard
as
if,
best as you can.
sorry, I've heard if you're painting red colors, it sometimes works best to prime with gray
Yeah,
first.
that's true. Yeah.
Is there other colors that correspond to like the color he painted that may have made it work better?
Could have primed with, like we sometimes have
Tint to
tint
prime.
the primer to the wall color or a gray. White is the worst to cover over, which everyone thinks is the easiest, but it's not. So
But 3 coats with the dark color like that is,
that's
Not bad.
average, yeah.
That's
That's
It's
average.
average,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Like some of the vibrant colors that we have in our store, we had to do 3 coats.
Mhm.
yeah, so.
Anything that has reds, yellows,
Yellows, yeah, those are
greens, like forest green, not fun colors to cover with.
What about contractors? Is there any particular contractors that are better than others for using VOCs? Or?
might have a couple that
We have a couple that,
ask about it or,
Yeah.
but most of them,
it depends on the type of job they're doing.
yeah, what the
Yeah.
homeowner asks for or,
That's it.
yeah. So.
Do you find some are starting to encourage homeowners to use it, or?
A couple are.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the repaints for sure, but for the